I'm very well. How are you doing today?
I'm okay, my brother. Thank you, B. Waiting long time and watching the what is going on our world. Tell us, our viewers, what's going to be happen this climate summit and is climate whole of the world what they are doing in Glasgow, England.
All right. Basically, we've gone through this before with Paris, with Rio de Janeiro. This has been going on for decades. They will make resolutions that they won't follow through with. So basically, we can't really rely on governments to fight climate change. We have to take this fight into our own hands. The way to do this is to recognize that the people who are stopping us from fighting climate change are doing it by selling us products and then using the profits from those products to lobby our politicians. So what's the answer? We compete with them in the supermarkets, in the stores, market products of our own. We tell shoppers, you buy this product, 100% of your profit will be going to fight climate change. And so it's basically putting the power to fight climate change to basically, tell our politicians what to do in the hands of shoppers, rather than the hands of these, rich corporations that don't care enough about the future to be doing the right thing.
I see. So you are thinking right things and right way. This all industrialist countries, they are making profit with climate. They are making so many goods and selling the public, and they're making money. They do not take care and they do not invest anything in this earth, in this climate summit. May I write?
Yeah, so the answer is I did a survey, and people aren't familiar with this kind of way of using capitalism. Basically, just as a preface, back in 1982, after Paul Newman and his friend Alex Hotchner started the first company that I was aware of that donates 100% of their profit to charity, in these 40 years, they have donated over $500 million. So this has a huge potential. Imagine thousands of companies like Paul Newman's company, Newman's Own, doing the same thing. If you notice on his products, he says 100% of profits to charity. So on these products, there will be messages saying 100% of the profit to fight climate change. And so it's an idea that needs to be done. Now, basically, we're in the process of getting the idea out there. So this is an excellent introduction to your audience. I think what we need, though, is a documentarian, somebody who makes documentaries, who produces documentaries, to step up to the plate and create a documentary that explains this concept of climate rescue capitalism to the world.
Very nice theory. But do you remember 2015, our Obama president, what he did on the Paris? But nothing is work. Just document. They just make the document for us. And also this year, right now, happening in Glasgow, same thing gonna be happen. They never invest any money. They just making profit with ourselves. They selling us and they killing us. What we going to be happen in next generation, coming generation, whole of the world, drought, fire, worm, flood, so many things. And what is your view? How we can control this climate for this fire and flood and destroy the drought, So many things happening in the world. Which way our public and ourselves we can work, or private organization can work with NGO or charity? Tell our viewers something, please.
Well, yeah, basically, again, we can't rely on governments, on politicians. They haven't been doing the right thing. We can't expect that they'll suddenly change and do the right thing. So basically, this is taking the fight from the hands of Obama and Biden and all of those guys, putting it into our hands. Imagine you're going into your supermarket and let's say you buy 20 products. Imagine 10 of them you're buying and 100% of those profits are going to fight climate change. Now, this is something that governments cannot stop because this capitalism, a person who sells a product has the legal right to use the money he makes however they want, given within laws. And certainly contributing to climate change organizations would be, would qualify under, how an owner or a company can use their profits. So basically, Noor, this is not about governments. You're right. They are not going to do what's right. So this is about a new way to use capitalism that empowers us. Like we go into a supermarket, we shop, we need to buy those products. But we buy them at the same price. And they're the same quality as the products we're now buying, but the profits go to fight climate change. So that means that we're fighting climate change as shoppers. It's not costing us a penny. We're just buying the products we ordinarily buy.
I understood that, but those money is private industries, private organization, government or bank invest millions of dollars against this. So if they invest those money to climate, how they gonna pay their share to the bank or government?
All right, this actually has an entrepreneurial component because this doesn't rely on climate change organizations either. I mean, they can join in and create their own companies if they want, but this can be a very lucrative business for young entrepreneurs. And I say that because in the not-for-profit world, you can devote 20% of your revenue to operating expenses. So in this case, let's say there's two people, two young kids who start a company like this, and let's say they're able to, their first year, generate $1 million through sales. So that means they would each have that first year $100,000 in salary. Okay, so imagine, if they're donating $5 million in a year, their salary goes up to $250,000. So this has a component that doesn't even rely on the climate rescue organizations, climate change organizations, because they haven't been doing the job either. This is something that puts the power to fight climate change in our hands as shoppers.
African region, Africa always is drought. They don't have water. They have a lot of problem. We know that. But from last year, Africa have a lot of flood. Flood destroy all houses, all industries. What is going on in African region? Also South Asian, also somewhere in Middle South America. Our government, they do not see these things. They cannot wake up. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's like our government's really rich people in the United States. They control them. They don't care. They don't care about Africa. They don't care about even their own children's future. Or they think, I think it's greatly mistaken. They think their children are going to fare well in a world where everyone else is suffering. They have to realize that their children and grandchildren are in as much danger from climate change as the people in Africa and Europe and Asia and South America.
On Glasgow, Scotland, South African region like African Union and Uganda, they asked for our industrialist leader, industrialist country president or prime minister, please help us primary stage, only $25 billion in African region we can work for, start for climate, but they do not give the commitment. What do you think for this?
Again, it's the same rich people who control our countries, our governments, and they're controlling the Democrat and the Republican Party. They don't care. That's why we need a system like, with climate rescue capitalism, it takes money from them. Every time we're creating products, selling products, using the money to fight climate change, they're losing money. Because, like, again, this can be across the board. But basically, yes, we can't expect them to care about what's going on in Africa. They haven't so far. We need to take the fight, not just about climate change, but about, just alleviating poverty, just helping the lives of people in general. We need to take that power away from politicians who just don't care. Again, they're doing what their rich donors are demanding they do, really. So again, we've got to change the equation. We've got to retool capitalism so that it serves the needs of the world's people rather than the needs of the rich as it is now.
Another question is our politician in America. Senate 50 vote in Democrat side and Republican side is 50. Vice President involved in 51. But we have a Democrat party in the Senate, and Congress we have a congressman and woman. Two people, Joe Manchin and Christina Sinema, they don't want any kind of climate bill in Senate. They don't want to pass. They don't need it. And their state is burning. Drought lots. They cannot have any agriculture, any kind of food, anything. People is fighting. People is crying. What do you think for our politician? This progressive, liberal and modern, they so-called, they are working for us or they are working for lobbyists?
Yeah, Manchin and that woman, they're basically, kind of like four people. It's not them. If Biden and the Democratic leadership wanted them to join them, they would do that. But they're just like saying, oh, we can blame these two people. No, it's the entire Democratic Party that needs to change. And basically they have to stop, listening to what the rich people are saying or telling them to do. So yes, we can't expect, for our politicians to act differently than how they have, because like they're listening to the rich people who donate to their campaigns. That's what this climate rescue capitalism is about. In other words, like you go to the supermarket, you generate money for a company that's going to be using money to counter the money that these corporations use to buy our politicians. So again, there's so much suffering in the world, and it's not Manchin and Sonoma, whatever her name is. They're just like, they're four people. They're like, the Democrats are saying to the public, oh, it's just these two people that are stopping us. No, come on, you've got to be pretty politically naive to believe that. If Biden wanted them to be on board, they would be on board. So people have to understand it's not just the Democratic Party. The Republicans don't do anything either. It's the rich that are controlling both parties. And that's the problem.
They control even our president too?
Absolutely. I mean, like Trump should be in prison for the insurrection, for organizing a mob to invade our Congress and kill people. If Biden wasn't listening to the rich, Trump would have been in prison months ago.
I see. Last weekend, one of the report came, NPR, AP, and New York Times, Washington Post. Some young generation hold the Christina Sinema in Arizona airport, Phoenix airport, hold her, and she going her home in Arizona, meet with the lobbyist. So journalist asks, what reason you came this weekend in Arizona? She don't say anything. Then finally, journalists, all of them, they are running with her house. They found everything. And they do not say anything, but her side, they are controlling by police, her house, everything. But journalist cannot get in. What is your view these things?
You know, again, like to the extent that things that are happening that shouldn't be happening, things that are not happening that should be happening, like in this case, you know, why aren't the politicians, why isn't the government doing the right thing? I mean, because they're listening to the lobbyists. I mean, it all goes down to money. You know, that's the thing. Money is controlling our governments both at the international, national, and local levels. You know, and so like yes, you know, we can talk about what's going on in Africa. The problems we have here throughout the entire world. The world has a lot of problems, and to the extent we continue to allow the rich to control everything, we're not going to get the results we want and need.
Right now, you see in America, Elon Musk, Amazon Jeb, and what is they call Apple. They are trillionaire, not millionaire, not billionaire, trillionaire. Elon Musk, trillionaire. Jeb, he is another trillionaire. They are working in the space. They run the space. You know, they do not invest any penny for taking care of the climate, and they try to destroy our climate. What do you think? What is our government views? What is our government rule? They have to do it.
We went from feudalism, monarchies to democracy. All right, that was a great step forward. You know, but now we have a corporatocracy. We have an oligarchy. We have a system where the rich are controlling everything. And now it's time for our world to evolve beyond that. You know, one way is climate rescue capitalism. Basically, like if we take the power that they have through the products they sell us, the money they earn from them, we can defeat them that way. But there are other ways to defeat the rich. You know, voting rights legislation. There's a lot we can do, but this is something I'm certain of. The less money they have to buy our politicians, the more we can make our politicians do what we need them to do rather than what these rich want them to do.
My little question again with you. These rich people, they are running the space and they destroying our earth. What is our government duty? Government cannot do anything?
Well, I mean, the way government is supposed to work is a democracy, you know, of the people, by the people, and for the people. You know, so we as citizens have to be much more active. We have to kind of like pay more attention, you know, recognize when they're not telling the truth. I mean, you know, both sides are just lying, you know, every day. And we have to kind of, you know, basically organize and say enough. And you know, I mean, this is going to happen. I'm confident it's going to happen because like climate change isn't getting any better. It's getting worse and worse. So whether it's like this year or 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you know, we're going to have to like overcome the rich, you know, create a brand new global order where they don't control everything. Because if we don't do that, everybody, including they, lose.
I see. This year we have a seminar in Glasgow. Over there, world leader, Russia and China, they are not show up. They say they don't want to help with this kind of climate summer. They gonna work for their own self to take care their climate. They're gonna do it. What do you think? Russia and China.
This is just, these conferences, these summits are just public relations. They understand that nothing's going to happen, so they're not going to buy into it. And like, it's not like they're probably not doing enough on climate change either, but they're waiting for us. We are so much richer than China and Russia, and we should be taking the lead. So they're saying to us, well, you know, if you're not going to do anything, we're not going to do anything, and we're not going to pretend we're doing something, and we're going to wait until it gets bad enough that you'll agree, oh yeah, we need to start doing something for it.
Tell us, our viewers, your view, how government and public organization or NGO can involve with the climate and young generation peoples. they can involve with the climate, they can help, or they can taking care next generation how to they can handle the climate. Do you have a, please explain, our time is too short today, so please explain everything.
Right, basically, we have some of the technological solutions, carbon sequestration, et cetera, but we don't have them all. So we need to do more research. We need more money. We need to pump many billions of dollars into more climate change research, but we can't do that. Our governments cannot do what they need to do until the rich people who are controlling them no longer have that power.
I know you have a climate book, you wrote it. What is the book name? And people can see on the library or store everywhere. Please tell us, our viewers.
Yeah, I wrote a book, published it, called Climate Rescue Capitalism. You can get it on Amazon. It's in a Kindle version, and there's an audio book of it. And so it describes what I'm saying now. It describes it like it's naive to expect that our politicians are going to change. So we have to take climate change activism into our own hands. It explains how these companies will be formed, what the whole process of creating this new kind of capitalism would look like.
Thank you. Thank you to come over our Millennium TV 24. Thank you for your help and support. Our viewers can understood what is going on our world, this kind of climate. They can involve everyone with your organization or private organization, whatever NGO we have in the world. Everyone can involve and taking care this planet. Thank you, Mr. George. I'm going to bring you another day, another time. Stay with us. Okay, my brother? Take care.
Thank you so much, you. Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. Viewers, we're going to short break. Please stay with us.
Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.